This evening we have Advocate Hendrik van Staden with us. We have Mr. Anton Lee with us. Thank you for attending as well, Anton. We've got Lucille, who covers a lot of our email, does our email work, and we've got Yolanda, who does mostly the interface between ourselves and the liquidators information. And then we've got Solicitor Ian Allis with us this evening as well, who represents certain clients and represents our company where and as required. I think if you guys have got questions, chuck them on the Q&A for us, please. We have got quite a tight schedule that we need to get through this evening. We've got a number of things that we'd like to discuss. I think the first thing that we need to touch on, which is a lot of people are saying, what now, is the SARS application for payment and the bogus, as far as I'm concerned, bogus amount of money they've put that was a profit. Well, that company made no profits. There are no profits in that company, in MTI as such. And you don't pay taxes. You can pay penalties. There might be penalties for some reason. And I think the liquidators should actually fund any penalties out of their own pockets because they've failed as far as we're concerned. I think the thing we need to look at is just look at that basically. I mean, they are trying to do a one-on-one, but there was no profit in the organization. So profit is taxable. Funds and investment money is not directly taxable unless a person has not paid their taxes. The individuals have not paid their taxes. I wonder, Advocate van Staden, we had a brief discussion about that. Would you like to comment on that, just on that one topic for now?
Good evening, Chris. You guys are well. Pertaining to that, yes, I'm sure the liquidators will oppose in any case the application by SARS because the individual is responsible to pay tax on any gains that he made from his investment or his or her investment. So it's not necessarily that the estate of MTI must be held liable, but we will see if that goes to court, and then we will see what is the decision of the court. But in essence, I am in total agreement with you with regards to the claim that SARS are laying against the estate of MTI and the liquidators.
Yeah, I think that's that is a long way from being resolved. If it is going to be, it won't be resolved. Well, my attitude is in the way that they've put it, there is no proof of profit. And this was a question of investors putting their money in, and there is a loss in the investment. So I wonder if SARS will pitch in for the loss. I think they're liable. That might be a problem as well. You can check your questions into the Q&A. Yolanda and Lucille can basically deal with the Q&A section for us and pick up anything else. So just to summarize that, and Advocate van Staden, Solicitor Ian Allis, if you need to comment on this, at this stage of the game, quite honestly, I think that SARS are just taking a chance. And before that claim of theirs will go anywhere or can go anywhere, there's a lot of water that has to flow under the bridge. And quite honestly, it doesn't feel like it's a legitimate claim. It actually, in my eyes, it demeans the SARS organization in the first place. And I say that openly. I think it's ridiculous for them when so many people are in so much pain to bring such rubbish to the table in the first place. But that's my opinion, and it could be wrong. But I think that's where we stand with that. The second issue, which is really important, and Advocate van Staden and Solicitor Ian, again, this is something that has come up, which is really important at the moment. And I would like everybody to think about this very carefully. We have on our books, I think, quite a number, I think quite a number of people who were net winners in the whole in the whole MTI transaction thing. And those net winners are doing everything in their power to help people below them submit their claims. And I'm really impressed by the way those people are assisting each other to get the claims submitted and completed. And I think all credit to those guys that are standing up and standing in for the people below them. Really, that is really appreciated. And I don't think anybody out there actually appreciates what those people are doing at the moment. So as I've always said, I believe that we all entered this thing on a very honest and we are going to go into this to make an investment. We were told it was an investment. We never went in this to rip anybody off. The greater majority of us, it was not our intention to do that. Now we've got a lot of people who have, through their dexterity and abilities and selling abilities, went out there and sold the product to a lot of people below them. And they've now found out that the information that we were given by MTI was bogus. In other words, MTI, the owners of MTI, the MTI managers themselves, were feeding us rubbish and nonsense and weren't actually investing the assets. Then they tried to run away with the assets. Now they've been caught out. Now we're in this whole liquidation process, and it's dragged a lot of very innocent people into it. My approach at this stage of the game is what Advocate Hendrik van Staden and Solicitor Ian Allis are doing, is to help these people who are net winners get their situation covered by legal agreements with the liquidators. And we are saying this tonight, that it is really important for you to get in touch with us and to set up a discussion. Your information will remain absolutely private. Whatever whatever is given to us will not be disclosed to anybody except Solicitor Ian and Advocate Hendrik van Staden. And what we will do is we will prepare along with the liquidators. We will only provide them with information they already have. Remember, all the net winners, your information is already on their system. There's nothing you can do about it. Your email address, your home address, your bit wallets, all of that information, and everybody you've helped down the line is on their thing. So they can get hold of you. They know your mobile number. They know who you are. Unless you are going to hide under a rock in the Sahara Desert, you are going to be found. The best way to deal with this is to come forward, discuss the situation. Let's get an agreement in place. If that is possible, let's get an agreement in place with the liquidators so you don't end up in problems. And one of the things which we explored in our discussions this morning was there are a lot of people who are offshore, who have left South Africa, but still had connections with South Africa and might still have assets in South Africa. If this is not resolved before, and we don't know what the outcome of the court case is going to be, if this is not resolved and put on the table before that court case is finally judged, you can end up in a really serious problem either way. Doesn't matter which way it goes, you can end up in a serious problem. You have assets in South Africa, you might not have assets in South Africa, you have family in South Africa. Maybe they can't get hold of you because you're offshore, but you will end up not being able to go back to South Africa because they can put out an arrest warrant for you to take you at the airport. So honestly, guys, you need to deal with this. Anybody who is a net winner, my suggestion would be step up to the plate. Let's see what we can do to help you resolve this and what arrangements can be made so that the whole thing can come above board. We can negotiate, we can get Advocate van Staden and Solicitor Ian Allis to put agreements in place which will give you an opportunity to make repayments at times which are convenient to your finances. The alternative is really dangerous. You're playing with fire. That's my approach. Now, I'd like Advocate van Staden to criticize me on that, and also Solicitor Ian Allis. So I'm just going to hand that over to them, and then I'll wrap it up when we've finished. Advocate van Staden.
Well, Chris, it will depend all on the actions what the liquidators take and which route they will take, but it is in the best interest of people who are net winners to do the necessary negotiations and to prevent actions being taken against them, like sequestration, which might have a very bad influence on any business opportunities, or even if they want to apply for process, it could have a negative effect on their future. So, as I say, we're all waiting for the decision by the court, and I'm sure that will be the direction indicator in which direction the rest of the liquidation will be going on or will be heading towards. But there is some truth in the things that you've said. But I'd like to give over to our solicitor, to Ian Allis, to put in a word.
Thanks, Hendrik. Realistically, the risks far outweigh the reward of ignoring any possible action that might go forward. As Hendrik said, there could be a prospect for sequestrations of local held and such a liquidation of the local held assets that can be forced. There could be, if it is in the case of certain people moving but still retaining assets, those could in actual fact be attached. There could be inquiries down the line in regards to financial implications from the investment and the like. So it would be in people's best interest, if one could say, to rather negotiate. Nobody's saying throw yourself on your sword, because there might not be any sword to throw oneself on, but rather to engage with us, to speak to the liquidators, because even in respect of what one's net benefit may have in actual fact been, there's differing degree of what people may have in actual fact benefited from a profitable perspective, and just simply divulging and possibly and disclosing what happened may well end up resulting in, even in the event of a net winner, the liquidators not wishing to take the matter any further, as it's simply then not viable. But then it's up for for people who have benefited to actually come clean and say, I benefited to X, Y, and Z amount, and then we can be at least in a position to speak to the liquidators, to negotiate, and to and it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, it might not even result in the matter proceeding any further. It all just depends on what the answers to the relevant questions will be.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Okay, so I think the message from that, guys, is contact us through our contact form on the page. You can set up a private discussion with myself or with Solicitor Ian or whatever you want or need, and we will help you work through this and give you direction on what to do and how to deal with the situation. We've got a standard. We will send out a standard tomorrow. We will send out a standard page which will highlight this, and we will ask the guys who are net winners to, because we have a fee structure, we've agreed a fee structure with Solicitor Ian and Advocate Hendrik on this, and we will put the fee structure up on the website along with the a place where you can register to have the discussion, and we'll make it all very, very clear to you how and how we would proceed with this. So just to reiterate and put this in a simple summary, my suggestion is, and this is what I would do if I was in this position, I would declare, get it on the table, have an honest discussion, open the channels, be protected by my solicitors, have a good thing going with Solicitor Ian and Advocate Hendrik van Staden, be in a position that they know my case, and then try to find a solution which works for the liquidators as well. And that is really good, because anybody who does that is also saving the investors money, because in the end, the investors end up paying to have all these legal actions resolved. Whereas if we anticipate and preempt it, we can actually help the guys without anybody really having to fall on their sword, as Ian and Advocate Hendrik has said. Okay, so that sums up the two main things that we just wanted to bring to the table today. I don't know, is there any questions that the legal that's come out in the Q&A, Yolanda, maybe Lucille, if you've got anything you want to deal with there? Yolanda?
There's one question that I don't know if that is relevant and anyone really has the answer. It says, Cecil Rose stated in his webinar that the FSCA is sitting on 26,000 BTC. Is there truth in this statement?
I don't think we can comment on that. And as far as I know, the total BTC was 29,000. So unless that's been handed over, I have no proof of that. I don't know. Ian, Hendrik, are you aware of anything like that?
Chris, if I can put it this way, I'd rather not comment about what other people are in actual fact saying. Unfortunately, there's a lot of different issues going around and a lot of different people having different information and coming into different information. And this, unfortunately, when one deals with a matter such as this, there's a lot of miscommunications and people telling one another stuff, unverified facts. So I'd rather not comment than actually comment incorrectly or say anything incorrectly. Okay. Yeah. But just rather be astute as to what, and be vigilant as to what one actually goes ahead and hears, especially on social network, as often certain of the sources that also feed into that might not always be that accurate. So they might not be reflecting anything of an inaccurate nature, but where they may get certain information can also be, the inaccuracy can exist from that point.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's wise words, Ian. Thank you. Advocate van Staden?
I totally agree. If one don't have physical proof that one has seen yourself, it would only be mere speculation. And it's not good to speculate. So we are very cautious and we will see what facts are brought to the fore.
Yeah, I think the way I would look at that is, in the end, doesn't matter who's sitting on what, the liquidators have the power in this. And as long as the master of the Supreme Court is standing behind the liquidators, the funds will eventually have to go to that pot to be distributed from. I don't think anybody else can lay seize on these funds in the way it is at the moment. Am I correct as far as that's concerned, Advocate van Staden? Is there something in the law where they can say they can seize the funds?
No, nothing. Currently, the liquidators are in charge of the estate. and they can only be removed by court order or by the master.
Yeah, no, so my attitude would be that if the liquidators tell me they're sitting on that, I believe it. But if somebody else says, well, we have attached, well, I don't think you can attach. I think the only people who can attach at this moment in time is the liquidators themselves. That's just from a legal point of view that I think that's correct. And I'm to be challenged on that. Guys, okay, so let's, Advocate Van Staden, did you want to mention something on that?
Yeah, you're 100% correct, Chris. I just want to say you are correct.
Okay. All right, so let's just move on to the next stage of this. There are some inquiries going on. There are some representations that need to take place. Advocate Van Staden and Solicitor Ian Allis have put out a standard fee, and the way we're going to work that is we're going to put down, ask for a deposit of £1,000 if there is something, £1,000, guys. Don't get that, would be nice, but not true. £1,000, which is approximately what's it, £50 at the moment, to evaluate your situation, and if your representation in an inquiry is necessary and we can do it under a bulk process, then the normal total fee will only be £2,000, and we will keep you informed. If your case has any difficulties, then we will take it from there. But please, guys, you are more than welcome to inquire, talk to Yolanda, myself or Lucille, get the information across, and let's see how we can help any one of you who thinks that there is a problem that needs to be dealt with. But I also want to say to you, be upfront about this. Just bring it to the table. Let us have a look at where you are. Let us find out, are you a net winner? Are you a net loser? If you don't know how to evaluate that. And to me, there's a really simple rule of thumb here. It's how many Bitcoin did you put into MTI and how many Bitcoin did you get out? It was an investment program, their asset growth and all the rest of that. But in the end, you were either a net winner or a net loser. And if there's any doubt about that, we have the channels open to discuss it with the liquidators. And we have already resolved a number of people's claims. And they have got offers back from the liquidators saying what their position is in terms of the asset and their representation in the asset in the total net equity of MTI. So we've already got certain people's stuff done. The important thing here is for you to sign up and work with us, guys. That's the only way we're going to get on top of this, and we have to we really do have to stand together. I think just as the last thing that I'm going to ask Advocate Van Staden and Solicitor Ian Allis to deal with in the next 5 minutes or so is just the status quo at the moment, because the court, the judge in the case has asked for verbal evidence, and I'd like Solicitor Ian Allis and Advocate Van Staden just to deal with the implications of that. But she has asked for verbal evidence from everybody who was represented at the court case. Okay, so I think there were 43 people in total. So that verbal evidence has to be given before she will make her final judgment. Advocate Van Staden, can I hand that over to you at this stage of the game? Hendrik?
Okay, basically, all I can say is that we're all waiting for the court, the final court order and decision. So there I'm of the opinion that Ian will be the best to answer that, as he is the legal rep for Get Acquit per se.
Okay. Ian?
Thanks, Henrik. Thanks, Chris. Basically, at this moment, the judge has indicated that there's been a lot of to-in and fro-in of additional evidence. So that's then basically that's the effect of is delaying what her judgment is on the illegal scheme application. So she's wanting further submissions to be made to hopefully sway her in one of the three directions. So at this present moment, it's all quite a bit of a knife's edge as to what the final decision will be. But at this present moment, it's looking like the various parties are going to have to make further representations to the judge on certain specific points, and that will basically sway her in what her ultimate decision is going to be in regards to the judgment.
Okay, is there just a question here? Is there any assistance we can get from our members to support this? Is there something we can put together that can give further evidence as to our approach to what we were dealing with, or something like that, something we can explore in regards to that?
Is there will be, because at the end of the day, at this present moment, it's a little bit in dispute, and it's not 100% clear exactly what is wanted as far as the further submissions. So there's been a lot of to-in and fro-in, especially from the liquidator side and from other interested parties. Not every last person has put in a further argument on specific legal points, but it's going to come down to if the judge wants a certain evidence, what it's going to in actual fact be, and in the future it may be required.
Okay, so just as a possibility, if we got our 15,000 members to all sign an affidavit that they entered this on the principle that the information they were given was accurate in terms of the investment scheme, and that there was no intention whatsoever to defraud anybody, would that
can contribute to it is, if I could interject, it's going to go a little bit even further than that. It's basically that there was no intention of in any way infringing upon any regulations or doing anything that may have suggested that one was benefiting to the disadvantage of others.
Okay, so if we were to draw up something like that and then ask the people to sign that and submit it electronically for the judge to be able to see how many of those documents are out there, that could be a really powerful piece of paper, couldn't it?
Yes. At the end of the day, what it will basically come down to is a saying that this was a support of the creditors. We are basically looking at it from the perspective of the creditors, the investors who innocently invested. Even, you know, the fact is, it's not about whether there was an aim to make money or not. That's not where the issue comes. Even everybody went in with an intention of securing some form of annuity or some sort of financial security and benefit afterwards. Is what it was. Is that nobody went in. The idea is that nobody went in there with the intention of committing any type of an act of fraud, if one could go ahead and say that no one was aiming to benefit from the problems of others as a policy.
Okay. Right. So can I say that we will work on something like that and get back to the guys in about a week's time? Is that worth doing? Yeah.
That's correct. That's fine.
All right. Great stuff. Okay, guys. So that's really interesting. Okay. So just as a summary, this whole thing is in a melting pot at the moment. Please, we need your voice heard. Every single person who signs up and joins our membership, guys, I know it's painful, I know it's difficult, but by doing that, you are proving to the world that we are honest investors trying to protect our funds. And it's really time that we have to stand together if we're going to try to get this into a cheap and a possible resolution. And we have the melting pot is on the fire right now, and we have to get into getting this resolved. I spoke to Ian, to Hendrik today, and Ian, as a matter of fact, and this has been a really difficult project for us. But that's not the point. The point is, we're dealing with the law, and the law, in the end, as long as it's run correctly, will work correctly. Okay, so I think the best way to do is come clean. Let's give our information, and let's trust the legal system in South Africa to work in the favor of the investors, because we don't have any other choices. Okay, guys. All right. I'm just going to quickly ask Yolanda and Lucille if there's anything else that on the legal side that needs to deal with, and then we'll hang around a bit and answer any further questions, because I know that everybody wants to leave. Anton, have you got anything specific that you'd like to raise? Anton, you're still on mute. I don't know if you're with us. Yes, Anton, go for it.
Hi, Chris. Good, thanks. No, I've got nothing. Thank you. I've just had a few complaints about people struggling to get assistance from Get Acquit. I'm not sure what emails they are using, but I can tell you that the people who will be struggling are the people who are not members, because we are not dealing with their queries at the moment. We are dealing with the people who have got access to the ticketing system, and we are dealing with the people who have got access to the COGS, who are using the COGS system because they are members. We are also dealing with the people who are on the support and various other email things as well. But we are checking that they are members before we actually help them out. Because otherwise, I mean, we got 900, just to give you an idea, sorry, Anton, just to give you an idea, we got 950 emails today. Okay, no, it's fine. I'm just asking, I'm just mentioning, and I know for a fact this guy is a paid member of Get Acquit. Okay. So if someone, Lucilla, Joanna, can post a number or something that I can give to him, I've asked it on the group as well, so he can contact someone directly and just ask for assistance on what he needs. Yeah,
there's no problem. On the website, on the contact page, there is a mobile number, so he can put that in and go to WhatsApp. WhatsApp, we are answering WhatsApps.
The best would be if he is subscribed to raise a ticket. I answer that every single day. Unfortunately, we are flooded. At this moment, I do not get around to the WhatsApps. I have hundreds of mobile messages as well. There's just too much to get around to. What I do, I answer all the tickets every day.
Look, in the worst case scenario, just give us a call on the WhatsApp number or on the contact number. We will do everything we can to get back to everybody. Okay, honestly. But guys, we are trying to prioritize members, because in the end of the day, to put up the people to do this work costs money, and we have to now support. We also have to support everybody to try to get their claims in. And as far as we are concerned, the members have to take priority. So if there is a member that is struggling, please don't be afraid to call us as well. The numbers are there. We are available. Anton, and if you can pass that guy's information on to us, we'll get back to him. I promise you that, one way or the other.
I'll send these details on the group when we're done.
Okay, please do that, Anton. I'd like to find out what the problem was getting in contact with us. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Yolanda, Lucille? Any other questions that if we can? I'd like to ask any comments from Ian and Advocate van Staden before we finalise with them, and then we'll stay on a bit and answer any other questions that there are. Yolanda, Lucille, have you got anything? Okay, Advocate van Staden, do you want to wrap it up for us?
No, we're all just waiting for a decision from the judge, and as Ian correctly said, what's the implications. So, and it will be interesting to see what direction will be taken by the liquidators. And yes, the best will be to encourage people to do the necessary interaction to make sure that we can get this liquidation over and done with in good time, although it is already taking some time and will take some more time. And that's all that I can add. And I just want to say good luck with all you guys. I know you've got a lot of work, and sometimes you are overwhelmed by all the emails and messages. But I surely hope that you will be able to get around to all of them. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good evening.
Okay, Ian, have you got anything you wanted to add?
I'm echoing the same sentiments that Hendrik is, and once again, also thank you for your assistance with trying to assist the people, Chris, and hopefully for everybody's benefit, we can all finalise this matter shortly, and hopefully the judge makes the right decision in the circumstances.
Yeah, we can only pray for that. That's what we'll have to do. But we can work for it as well. Yeah, we can. I think we can work for it as well. Yolanda, you put your hand up. Is there something that came up? Your sound, Yolanda.
Okay, I do have a new question. It says you said about the representation that will be available. I have a person asking, how do we know if we need representation?
I think the basic, I can answer that. The basic question, whether you need representation or not, is whether you are a net winner or a net loser. And if you're on the borderline, the best thing is to contact us and let's find out what the status quo of your account is. And then that will determine whether you're a net winner or a net loser, and whether you need representation anyway. I mean, whether you're a loser or you still need representation, but the degree of representation will change if the more you are a net winner, because you want to try and work out how you are going to repay those funds.
So basically, if you are a net loser and you want your claim submitted and have Get made their resources available to assist you getting your claim submitted, the best would be just to subscribe. But if you have been subpoenaed or something like that, and by the liquidators, and you do not know what to do, and where you actually have to have your solicitor present as well, then contact us regarding further representation than just the normal.
Yeah, and also if you get an email like we've had in the past, people get subpoenaed or they get asked to give evidence. The best thing is to contact us and let's determine and at least give you some background or help you out with what you should say and you shouldn't say and what your legal rights are. Because it's not there, or you have legal rights if you get subpoenaed. So you need representation. But just in the normal way of the claims and so on, we set this up just for those guys who are net losers to get their claims valued and get them resolved by the liquidators. We're doing everything we can to get that done. Okay. Is there anything else? I see there's a number of people who have currently raised their hands. Unfortunately, I can't see any of that at the moment. I don't know why. Is there any other questions? I see you've got 76 questions there, Yolanda. Anything else that's come up at this stage?
No, just the general. When will this be available on the webinar? Be available to members, or will it be available on YouTube?
No, I think what we'll do is we'll take certain parts of the webinar will be available on YouTube, but the full webinar will be available to members only. Okay, so we'll get that posted for members only. Okay, all right. I guess that kind of wraps it up, guys. Is that it, Yolanda? Anything else we need to take care of?
No.
Okay, just last thing for everybody, please, guys. The best way to get hold of us is to work through the ticketing system. Once you signed your stuff, signed on as a member, you can raise a ticket. We deal with your account in the membership area. That is the best way to do it. And the other way you can do it is you can do it through the COG system as well. You can submit your tickets through the COG system. That's another way of doing it. And the alternative is to write to support@getaquid.com. Unfortunately, that email gets really, really flooded. I would suggest that if you need to do anything and you feel that you're a member and you're not getting answered, my suggestion would be for you simply to call us. Give us a call. You don't even need to make it a long call. You can just say, listen, I need to talk to you guys. Here's my number. Call me back, and we'll call you back straight away. Okay? All right. Is that it? Are we good? Anton, any last words of wisdom from your side, my friend?
No, I'm 100%. Thank you.
And please, if anybody says to you, I'm a GetAquid member, please send that information through to us. We'll get hold of him for you, okay? We will follow up on that. I give you my word on that. We've been on top of all the members, honestly. It's just difficult when non-members contact us because we have to take priority with the people who have joined our class action and are supporting us. Unfortunately, that's our responsibility. That doesn't mean that we don't work to the benefit of everybody in the end, though, which way you look at it. Okay, guys, the last words from everybody else. Yolanda, anything else on your side? Are you good? Lucille, are you happy? Okay, all right. Thanks, Anton. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Lucille, for coming on this evening. Thank you, everybody, for participating, supporting us, and helping us. You all have a good evening, and remember, we're there to help as much as we possibly can. Thank you, guys. Thank you.